Hi, this is John Gabriel, and today we're in search of real food at a supermarket. Now here's the thing about a supermarket is that some of the worst, most processed food in the world is in a supermarket, but also some really, really good food at very affordable prices. If you know what you're doing, you can find here at a supermarket. Some supermarkets have a health food section, some supermarkets have organic areas, locally grown produce, and sometimes free-range chicken, meat, fish, wild-caught fish, all kinds of different gems at a supermarket if you know where to shop and how to shop. So we're going to go through the supermarket and figure out the best type of items to buy to get really healthy food at an affordable price. The first thing we're going to do as a general rule of thumb is we're going to walk around the perimeter of the supermarket because that's where all the refrigerated and frozen areas are. And real food typically needs to be either refrigerated or frozen. So all the real food is typically on the perimeter of the supermarket, so that's where we're going to start. So I'm in the butcher section right now, and what I'm looking for with meats is, preferably if it's meat, grass-fed, organic, that would be great, or free range if it's chicken, and preferably hormone-free, pesticide-free. Also with fish, I'm looking for wild-caught fish, not farm fish. If it's wild-caught fish, the fat is healthier, it's more of an omega-3 fat as opposed to omega-6. Also, if it's grass-fed beef, the fat is also much healthier. It's got omega-3s and something called CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. Very, very good for reversing insulin resistance and helping your body burn fat, but it's only in grass-fed meat. So I'm looking for grass-fed meat and wild-caught fish and free-range chicken. I get just a quarter of a kilo of the king prawns and the mahi-mahi also, please. Okay, so they didn't have any grass-fed beef. They suggested there happens to be a butcher just right across the street that has some grass-fed beef, so we're going to check that out. But what they did have is they had some wild-caught mahi-mahi, and they had some wild prawns, both really, really good sources of protein and healthy fats. They had free-range chicken that's free from added hormones and pesticides, so I got that too. So in the produce area, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for organic, or I'm looking for spray-free or locally grown. All of those are higher quality than just conventionally farmed produce. So this particular supermarket happens to have an organic section, so I'm just going to take a look at what's over here. So I was able to get some pretty good organic produce in their organic section at very reasonable prices. There's a kilo of onions for basically $4, which is about twice what normal onions cost. But still, it's $4 for a kilo of very good organic produce. Same with potatoes. I got organic potatoes for $4 a kilo. It's not bad at all. I got some organic cherry tomatoes for $4 a punnet. Not too bad. They've got organic pears also for, this was $4, works out to be about $1 a pear. Probably again about twice what normal pears are, but still not too bad. Now sprouts are great because they're very, very nutritious. They're full of life force vitality, vitamins and minerals. Typically, also with bean sprouts, they're less starchy than the beans because once they sprout, it eats up the starch and then it's mostly protein and fiber. So sprouts are great. Also, sprouts typically don't have pesticides because they're usually farmed indoors in greenhouses and things like that, and they're also very cheap. So I always load up on sprouts. Bean sprouts, sunflower sprouts. I put heaps of them in my salads. It's a great way to get nutrition at a very affordable price. Now with lettuces, you definitely want to try to get spray-free if you can because typically lettuces are very heavily sprayed. They don't happen to have spray-free at the moment. Sometimes they do have organic and spray-free lettuce, not at the moment, but at least if you're getting lettuce, get them in a bunch, not individually picked leaves in a bag because it's going to preserve the nutrients more if they're together in a bunch like this. So these are young coconuts, typically from Asia, and oftentimes, although it doesn't say it, it doesn't have pesticides because a lot of these are just from trees that are growing wild naturally, so they're not spraying them, they're just cutting them down and setting them over. I use the water either for drinking, making smoothies, makes great smoothies, makes really good desserts, protein shakes, and also the flesh you can use in salads and desserts too, so really, really good. Okay, I'm going to get some locally grown avocados. Avocados are a great food, very healthy fat, lots of nutrients. I use these in salads. I make desserts with them. I do all kinds of things with avocados, so definitely going to get some. These are locally grown, which is, again, better than if they shipped it from thousands of miles away. It's going to have more nutrients, possibly less toxins too. Who knows? I'm not sure about that. Definitely more nutrients.